The strengthening of the US dollar hasn't helped, and China's slower economy is making matters worse for commodity exports. Well, Afriforesight has released its outlook report on commodities. Let's now chat to the group economist Jacques Botha on that outlook. He joins us now from our Cape Town studios. Jacques, good afternoon. Let's just start with some positives. Your report does see some good prices and demand for commodities such as platinum and diamonds, for example. Why is that?
Diamonds are forever. I'm joking. Devon, the mining industry is actually looking very good. Prices of diamonds are increasing as there seems to be not so much supply in the world found at this stage. So there's a slightly over demand, so that allows prices to go up. And then on the demand side, it's just that it's the habit, the sort of tradition of people getting married or getting engaged with a diamond ring is just spreading all over the world. So as the world develops, the demand for diamonds also grows. And we see a growth. This is especially a year of consumer growth, where the consumers are going to start getting better, where the banks are going to ease their policies to get more money to the consumers. And diamonds is very much a consumer play. Platinum, the demand there, again also, the luxury demand for jewelry could be positive, but only later maybe. And then the demand for auto catalysts, especially in Europe, where the diesel cars are the big users of platinum. Then there's palladium, which is the same companies that produce mostly platinum are also doing well, and palladium is used more in petrol cars, but that's also going up. So we see that although there's there was a slowdown last year in the demand from Europe and uncertainty, we see Europe now picking up. And the latest forecasts, we actually forecast growth now. We've upgraded our forecast for growth in Europe to 3.5%, as they're also printing money. So that's why it's positive for platinum.
All right, the big one, and I suppose the concerning one, is iron ore. I mean, this is what goes to China, and we know China still produces about 50% of the world's steel. Industrial activity in that country is slowing. What's the impact for us now, especially on this big commodity like iron ore?
It is a problem. The iron ore price is just going down. It's been going down for the last 2 years. As suppliers, the big players are BHP Billiton, Rio Tinto, and Vale, the Brazilian company Vale. They've increased their capacity so much, and it's almost like a race to the bottom, where they're all just supplying more and more iron ore to China. On the other hand, China's actually, we anticipate this year, the production, steel production of is going to decline in China, as China moves away from a classical infrastructure-based commodity where steel is mostly used to a consumer-based commodity where more metals like stainless steel and aluminium are used. So, and the rest of the world, the steel demand, which is very much infrastructure, big spending, is also not growing fast enough to compensate for the fall in China. So we actually see global demand for steel from the steel industry actually declining by about 0.5%. And in China, actually 2% demand. So the iron ore demand is down. And the volumes are also not doing so well. So it's not a very good picture for the iron ore producers.
Jacques, you speak about a few companies there. I mean, you have the challenge of the strong dollar that are hitting those miners, but those that are selling in rand currency, I mean, what's the forecast for them? It should be better.
Yes, you're so right. So the miners that are focused in South Africa or in the other countries like Vale is in Brazil, their currency is actually done actually fallen more than the rand. And even the Australian currency has also fallen. So most of the mine producers are in their home countries are not doing so badly. And guys like Kumba is at least the rand price of iron ore is not looking so bad because our rand is falling against the dollar.
All right, I just want to go back to China now. I see the government has announced more details of this ambitious new Silk Road. We had our markets reporter talk about it earlier. This is an initiative to improve links from Asia to Europe and Africa. That means infrastructure build for them. Is this not good news for us when we forecast?
I think you're right. That's actually, unfortunately, that there's a bit of a lag in that, and it takes time. But eventually, projects like initiatives like that will actually increase the demand for steel again, and also for iron ore and manganese. Yes, and the problem is, however, that Africa and all the commodity producing countries are now, because of the declining volumes and demand and the declining prices, their infrastructure needs are declining. So there's going to be a bit of a lull, and that's why this is actually not going to be a good year for steel commodities.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Jacques Botha, economist at Afriforesight, thanks very much indeed for talking to us.